There are very many things that can be said about gut and the brain, but that's not my area. What I want to discuss with you this evening are two things. One is how to build structure. What do I mean by that? I mean that to take the full advantage of our compensation plan to maximize the earnings you have in the business. That is what structure is. And to have your business qualifying at a certain level month by month. The second thing I want to discuss with you is how to bring your dreams back to life, how to revive your dreams. I'm sure that sometimes many of us, we start the business, we are very excited, we have dreams. Somewhere along the line, we either lose focus of our dreams or we feel discouraged or whatever happens to us. So if give me a second to share the screen with you. All right. So the thing I want to talk to you about is building structure. But first, before we go to building structure, what is the main thing we do in our business? And this is what we do over and over and over again, whether in the business for 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, 20 years, 30. There are some basic things we do all the time to grow our business called the main things. And the main things is talking to people. First is using the products ourselves. Number two is retailing products. That means sharing products with people who are not interested in the business. And to do that, you need four things. One is product knowledge, to know what our products do. Two is listening to your customers. And three, keeping in touch with them. Four, getting to know who your customer is. The second main thing we do all the time is sponsoring or recruiting people into business. The four things of recruiting or sponsoring people in the business is number one, a name list or prospects list. You need to have a list of people you want to speak to about the business. Two is inviting. And before you invite, you need to prepare yourself mentally to have a good and confident posture. Three is, once you invited people correctly, is telling your story. The most powerful thing about getting people in the business is your story. When you tell people your story, you want them to have a thought in their mind that this person is just like me, and what he has happened to his life can also happen to mine. Element is follow up and closing the people to join the business. So we need to get involved in income producing activities. But once you've done that, let's talk about structure. What is structure? Structure is two things. One is building width, and number two, building depth. Building width gives you potential volume. Building depth is what actually gives you the volume, because the duplication process takes root in your business. How do you build width? You build width by doing the basics. That is having a name list, inviting people, showing the plan to those who are interested to follow up and to close them to join the business. So what is the idea? The idea is to go wide as quickly as possible. That simply means within the first 2 or 3 months, you need to sponsor 4 to 6 people very quickly. Out of this, you're going to get a few people who are willing to work with you. Not everybody is going to follow your advice. Not everybody will be excited for a long period. But there are a few people who actually see the potential of the business. These are the people you need to build the business with. So building width. Width is the people you sponsor directly under you. You need to go 4 to 6 wide very quickly. Once you've gone 4 to 6 wide quickly, then you need to identify the people you're going to work with to build depth. So building depth means going deep in each leg, 12 to 14 deep. That is actually your goal. How do you do this? You work at the taproot. What is a taproot? A taproot is the newest person in each leg. That is where you need to feed your energy and attention. If you think about a tree, you give the tree nutrients by pouring water and nutrients on the roots of the tree. That's how the tree absorbs the nutrient. The same thing happens in our business. Our business grows when you pay attention to the deepest part of any leg. So work on the taproot, and you need to do this. You need to draw your structure. Teach each person to go wide. As you sponsor somebody, teach them how to go wide. How do you do that? You help them you help them build a name list. You help them to invite. You show the plan on their behalf until they sponsor 2 to 3 people. Then they will have learned how to do it. And a very important element of this is work with the willing, because not everybody is willing to work. There are some who work the first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then when you call them, they don't answer your call. They don't attend training. All this, people go through these phases in the business. Now think about this: is you started the business. You said you need to go 6 wide very, very quickly. When you go 6 wide, you're going to find 1 or 2 people to build depth with. And when to do that, let me say the person number 1 is a person who joined the business as he's actually serious and interested in building the business. You sit down with them, they prepare a name list, and you help them to contact their prospects to join the business. In this example, number 1 sponsors 2 people, and sponsors number 2, and then you shift your focus from number 1 to number 2. Then you help number 2 build a name list, help them to contact their people, do presentations for them until they sponsor somebody else, number 3. So in this leg, you're beginning to build depth. You've reached level number 3. And the idea is this leg needs to go as deep as 12 to 14 deep. So go wide until you find 3 legs to work with. 3 legs to work with will occupy you for 4 to 6 months with hard work, because it takes 3. It's very difficult to build 6 to 8 legs at any one time. Why? Because people need adequate attention to grow their business. So you find 3 legs to work with, and those 3 legs, the idea is to go 12 deep on those 3 legs. Initially, to build a director volume, use a 6-2-2 plan. That simply means you go 6 wide, and each of those legs you go 3 deep. If you do that, you will reach director volume very quickly. But what is the actual final goal? The final goal is each leg that you're building, the goal is to reach 12 deep. If you reach 12 deep in each of the 3 legs, those should give you 3 director legs that will qualify month after month. Something very important about building structure: focus on what duplicates. What does that mean? It means that you do the simple things that people in your team can actually replicate or duplicate. For example, sponsoring 2 to 3 people per month. I think that is within the reach of any person who is serious about the business. Keep sponsoring always, because some of the people in your team will outgrow you. What does that mean? It means that, let me say I sponsor John in my business. I sponsor 3 other people. Then John is very excited. After a short time, John will have sponsored 3 or 4 people. Within 3 or 4 months, John is already a director. You cannot use John's volume to qualify as a director. And that is the reason you need to keep sponsoring yourself, so that you have enough people in your team that help you sponsor as a director. Something else that you need to develop in your team: develop the right attitude in your team. What is the right attitude? The attitude that says, if it's to be, it's up to me. The person who is responsible for the growth of your business is a person you see in the mirror every single day. And how do you develop the right attitude? Read books, good books constantly, listen to motivational tapes, keep company with the people who encourage you to grow your business. Okay? Another very important thing is aim at discipline, not motivation. Why is that the case? Because motivation only starts you on a journey. Discipline is what keeps you on the journey to success. Motivation is a spark that gets you started. Discipline is what keeps you going to get to the level you want to the one to be successful. So it's very important that you pay attention to discipline, not motivation. Discipline simply means that doing things even when you don't feel like. I mean, many times, especially during the cold season, it's 10 to 6 in the morning, your alarm clock has gone on, you want to wake up to either to pray or to exercise, you feel like you want to stay a few more minutes in bed. That's the time you need to actually give yourself a very good self-talk. Give yourself a good self-talk. Ask yourself, okay, you don't want to wake up today. Tomorrow you do the same, and the day after the same, and then you'll be late every day. Discipline is doing the things you have said to do, whether you feel like doing them or not. An exception is if you're sick, you're not well, you don't have to push yourself. Give your body time to recover. But discipline simply means doing the right thing, doing the things you know you should do, even when you don't feel like. And a very important thing is keep your eyes on the future and the past successes. Sometimes, a word of advice, your past success can be the most difficult thing to overcome because your past success can make you become complacent. But when you keep your eyes on your future and the past success gives you the assurance that you also can do successful things. You also can do the things that successful people do. And a very important thing is, you see, our brain is designed to keep us safe. Our brain always likes to conserve energy, finds the shortest cut to doing anything. And when you want to do something which is outside your comfort zone, your mind or your brain will tell you the reasons why you shouldn't do it. So don't pay attention to your mind. Pay attention to the schedule that you've set for yourself for the day. Okay? And then have an accountability mirror. It simply means every morning or every evening, ask yourself, all right, what have you done today to grow your business? What could you have done better? What mistakes can you correct? How can you do things better the next day? That is a way to keep yourself motivated for the next day. So just to summarize, building structure. One, when you start the business, or if you're new, whatever level you are, go 4 to 6 wide very, very quickly. And going to 4 to 6 wide very quickly, you'll identify 2 to 3 legs that you're going to work with. How do you work with them? Help those legs to go 12 to 14 deep to make sure that those legs begin to qualify. Use the 6-2-2 method. That means when you go 6 wide very quickly, help each of those people to sponsor 2 people each, and those 2 sponsor each, with the idea of building 12 deep in each of those legs that you're working with. Focus on what duplicates. That means focus on the simple things that people in your team can also duplicate. Then keep sponsoring so that the people in your group who have grown to director, you don't depend on them to qualify as a director. Have the right attitude by reading good books, keeping good companies, attending meetings and training and functions to keep your attitude at the right level. And then keep your eyes on the future. Then the last thing I want to discuss with you is how to recover your dreams. I am sure most people who are in this session today, when you started the business, you had your own dreams. You are the things you wanted to achieve. When you got your first business kit, you're very excited. This business is going to make you successful, it's going to make you a lot of money. And then somewhere along the line, you meet people who discourage you. Sometimes you call people prospects. You get no-shows. You get me-shows. No-shows is when your prospect does not show up for the presentation or for the one-on-one. The me-show is when even your downline, the people you're supposed to meet to show the business, do not show up. You're going to go through those things. Okay, then you may feel discouraged. You may wonder, does this business work? I have a few suggestions to make to help you rekindle your dreams. How do you recover your dreams? Step number one, create a vision board or a dream chart. What is that? That is a pictorial representation of the things that you want to achieve. Make sure, you see, we think in pictures. We don't think in words, we think in pictures. When you hear, for example, when you hear a beach, immediately your mind creates a mental image of what a beach looks like. When I say money, you immediately think about a note, either dollars, Kenya shillings, Tanzania shillings, naira, or US dollars. You think about the actual piece of paper. So our mind thinks in pictures. So create a vision board, get a light piece of paper, cut out pictures of the things you want to achieve, and put them in a place that is prominent, that you see every single day. That's step number one. Step number two, write down 10 things that you've always wanted to have but have not been able to. However wild it is. If you want to earn $2,000 a month, $3,000, $5,000 a month, write it down. If you want a brand new car, write it down. If you want to live in a 4-bedroom house, paid for in your own plot, write it down. Write down 10 things you want to achieve. Number three, a very important thing is have daily moments of silence and peace. And during those moments, read your goals. Why is this important? Because we tend to pay attention to the outside world rather than paying attention to the inner world. The outside world is very negative. Negative people, negative news, so many negative things. Take some time every day to be silent, to be quiet. Quiet the noise outside so that you quiet the noise in your mind. And during these moments, read your goals. And the reason that is important is because you're beginning to change your subconscious mind, and you'll begin to notice opportunities to make these dreams become true. It's called reticular activating system. There's something in your brain that when you set yourself a goal, you tend to notice things that help you achieve that goal. Okay? So, have moments of silence and peace every day. 4, attend functions, because when you attend functions, you get inspired, you get excited, all those things, the dreams you may have lost begin to revive again. Attend functions, Zoom trainings, face-to-face functions, monthly recognition rallies, weekend functions, the annual convention. Make sure you attend function. Number 5, read biographies. Why is reading biographies important? Because reading biographies gives you a vocabulary of success against all odds. The people who have written vocabularies are writing to you the journey that you're probably going to go through, or the journey that you're going through already. You will read those biographies and you'll actually find yourself in the stories of these people who have overcome incredible odds. So read biographies. Number 6, keep company with people who encourage you. This is very important. I mean, when I was growing up, my mother there's a friend of mine who my mother really disliked, and I never knew why. But as I grew up, I understood that good company will create good habits. Bad company will spoil good character. So keep company with people who encourage you, not people who discourage you. And the reason why I say that it's important to read biographies is this. Wherever you are, take some time, get just one biography to read this month. Just one. Why is it important? Because in the biography, you will find your own story. At the moment, I'm reading a biography of a man called Peter J. Daniels. Peter J. Daniels was an illiterate bricklayer who did not have any formal schooling. At the age of 26, he was an illiterate bricklayer. After he attended a Billy Graham crusade, he taught himself how to read and write. He bought 3 dictionaries. One he put in the bathroom, one he put in his car, and one beside his bed. And he memorized all the the words in the dictionary, frontwards and backwards. He taught himself how to read and write. Then he went to learn all the subjects that is important to live a successful life. He learned theology, philosophy, politics, economics, accounting, history, human behavior. He read such a wide, the last time I had his speech, he had read over 7,000 biographies. Why am I telling about Peter Daniels? Because reading about his life gives me hope, gives me motivation that if this guy who was illiterate at the age of 26 became one of the most successful business people in Australia, it's possible for you. In fact, I would encourage all of you to go and Google Peter J. Daniels and listen to some of his training and teachings. It will really inspire you to be a better person. So, to summarize, how do you recover your dreams? Number one, create a vision board, a dream chart. Number two, write down 10 things that you've always wanted to do. Number three, have daily moments of silence and peace and read your goals during those moments. Number four, attend functions to inspire you and to motivate you to go after your dreams. Number five, read biographies. And number six, keep company with people who will encourage you to build your business. If you do these simple things, you will find that you are enkindled to build your business again, because our business is simple, but it's never easy, because you will always find people who discourage you from building your business. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you very much for spending your time with Betty and myself. I know this today is a month end, today and tomorrow. Those of you who are looking at making your steps, maybe you're looking for the final PV to push your business to the next level. So I want to thank you very much. Good night and God bless.